Preeti, I'm going to start with you. Preeti tracks the Aam Aadmi Party and politics for us here at India Today. Vendetta or due process? This is something that's been going on for a few months, many summons, etc. Now the Aam Aadmi Party says this is pure, unadulterated vendetta.
Vendetta or due process, this has been the political narrative shift for a while. But, all I can say is today, with the latest development of Sanjay Singh getting bail from the Supreme Court, what would be damaging, for the due process narrative is the fact that the top court of the country said that there is no money trail and there is no transaction. And that has been the benchmark of what at least the political narrative is. So, where the ED is concerned, yes, it's a setback for the Enforcement Directorate, but I'm just talking about the political narrative. So this development will, of course, bolster the opposition's claim. And on the other hand, if you look at it, Shiv, what is the opposition saying? They are constantly speaking of, and we've heard it too many times already, the cliche of the BJP washing machine. And there have been leaders who, if you've skipped over, strangely, the agencies have gone slow or cases have been closed, point being the latest one where it happened with Praful Patel, where, there was a closure report filed. And so that's a political narrative and that will continue to go on. It'd be interesting at the back of Sanjay Singh and the comments that were made in court today, how the political heat is ranked up or cranked up from the Aam Aadmi Party side, because now what has been the narrative of the BJP, and I'm just talking about our debates, every time they come, they say it's due process. Why is it that bail has not been given, by the lower court to the top court? And today, the Aam Aadmi Party will come and say that this is what the top court has said. So, it's the politics of it, and it's going to continue.
Right. Munish Pandey tracks the Enforcement Directorate. You've seen him breaking all the big stories as far as this case is concerned. How does the ED defend on it? The ED doesn't comment on the politics of it, the timing, etc. But the point that Preeti raised about what the court has said while granting bail to Sanjay Singh on the money trail issue, how do they defend against that? Because that goes to the heart of the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal as well.
Well, Shiv, remember, this is the same court which refused to grant bail to Manish Sisodia twice. His bail was rejected by the lower court, then High Court, and then Supreme Court twice. Now, today Sanjay Singh has got bail, but you have to see that there are two different cases here. As far as Sanjay Singh is concerned, his role, according to Enforcement Directorate, was organizing a fundraising program for the Aam Aadmi Party. And second was that 2 crores rupees were delivered to his residence, but there is no money trail. As far as Manish Sisodia or Arvind Kejriwal is concerned, they have been able to at least convince the court prima facie, based on which the High Court decided to not grant any relief to Arvind Kejriwal. And that is the day when Arvind Kejriwal was arrested. When his remand application was produced before the lower court, even then the Enforcement Directorate was able to convince that there are statements, there is a technical evidence, and there is also a money trail. In Sanjay Singh's case, the court was very clear. There is no money trail as far as Sanjay Singh is concerned. But in case of Arvind Kejriwal,
didn't oppose the bail also.
Yes, that was
Enforcement Directorate did oppose the bail.
when
They did oppose the bail.
when the hearing.
They did oppose the bail. Okay, let Manish will
Okay, so when the hearing was going on, so the court asked this very clearly, and Nalini can throw light on this. The court said very clearly, if we are going to take observation on this case, it may reflect in our order, and it may impact your trial also. So why don't you go speak to the ED officials, and then I am going to give my order. So 2 o'clock, the order was set, and ED said that this is a peculiar case and that is why he should be granted bail. So as of now, there were options to ED. They could have said that we want to file application before the court, but ED said, no, we don't want to oppose the bail.
Tactical.
It was tactical for the Enforcement Directorate. We can say it is a strategy of the Enforcement Directorate. But as far as Arvind Kejriwal is concerned, and what I want to highlight here is that the money trail in case of Arvind Kejriwal, according to Enforcement Directorate, is strong. They have called Aam Aadmi Party a company which received allegedly 45 crores of rupees from the South cartel, and it was spent on the Goa elections. So Arvind Kejriwal's case, in comparison to Sanjay Singh's case, is extremely strong as far as ED's narrative is concerned.
Okay, so the vendetta versus due process is still, very much political until this money trail actually presents itself, and that's what the court actually said. Nabila, bringing you in now, and then I'll bring in the others as well. Vendetta or due process from the outside. The reason why this is, one cannot extract or separate the politics from the due process is because we've got a looming election right in front of us. And it is the chief of the Aam Aadmi Party and the Delhi chief minister who's now in jail.
Well, the AAP calls this vendetta because of the timing. 2 months before Lok Sabha elections, Arvind Kejriwal is arrested. But there were many other leaders who were arrested much before Kejriwal, be it Sanjay Singh for that matter, or even Manish Sisodia. They were arrested way before Arvind Kejriwal, nowhere close to election time. They've been in prison. About the details of the case, it's for the case itself to take its legal course. But if you ask me about AAP's perception, let me tell you, Shiv, that Arvind Kejriwal in prison, and if he does not step out or manage to get out legally before elections, is really going to hurt the Aam Aadmi Party. Because speaking of sympathy votes, I don't think the AAP really is going to score on that level. I don't think there is sympathy because, first of all, Arvind Kejriwal started off as an anti-corruption crusader, and to then come up with a liquor policy and then quickly scrap it when BJP accused them of corruption, just raised questions on his integrity and the party's integrity. His party itself was born out of the fact that they wanted to give an alternative view and approach to politics, corrupt politics that so long persisted. But it seems like they also came down to the same line. In fact, speaking of AAP's alliances, the Congress party was defeated by the BJP in 2014 only because of corruption. So many years that accumulated allegations of corruption, finally the Congress was defeated.
It was actually the Congress that raised the entire excise policy case. Akshita? Vendetta, due process.
It's weird, but I'd say both in a way. And this is why. Because first, as far as due process is concerned, I think the larger question, I think Preeti also raised this, which Nalini also can give us more about, is the problem with the PMLA. Right? It can be exploited in this manner. It is the due process, unfortunately. So I think till we change that, it remains the due process. Vendetta, why? Because how many netas from which party do you really see being taken up or, being charged under the PMLA? You see a track record, it's very clear, which is why I say it's a bit of both. My concern, Shiv, away from all of this, and if you focus on the politics, is on the Delhi government, is on governance, right? You've got Arvind Kejriwal taking all of this grandstanding, saying, I'm going to run the government from jail. You had all the AAP MLAs today meeting with Sunita Kejriwal, saying, no, we want him to run the government from jail. We've spoken about this in great detail, about how many challenges there are to actually run a government from behind bars. So then will governance in Delhi suffer as a result of political grandstanding? That's a bigger concern to me right now. Because yes, we've seen this fight playing out. But I think that Delhiites, if this continues, if this grandstanding continues, could face problems with regards to governance.
Okay, so